There are two words that you are constantly using that are shaping your reality, shaping your identity, and creating your experience of life. When we can become conscious of them and start using them really powerfully, it can change so much. What's up, you amazing human? My name is Ben Hart. In today's video, we are talking about the two very powerful words that are constantly shaping our experience of life, and how we can start becoming conscious of them and using them more powerfully. If you dig this video, want to see more like in the future, hit the subscribe button below. If you got a comment or a question, leave it down below. And if you want more people to see this video, think anybody out there would benefit from it, smash that like button. All right, so these two words, I won't leave you in suspense. We'll dive right into them, but I want you to just understand and see some of the complexities of it and feel the ways that you might be using them right now in your life. So these two words are I am. I am. You are constantly saying I am to yourself, whether out loud, to other people, whether to yourself out loud, or whether just internally all the time. And it's having an immense impact on the way that you think about yourself, the way that you relate to the world, and the way that you just think about reality in your experience of life. So let's just break that down for a second. Imagine maybe you have the experience of just walking around and suddenly you stub your toe, it really hurts, and you're like, internally, I'm so clumsy. And that is you telling a story to yourself that begins to become solidified. Next time you do something like you drop a tray or you spill some water, very easy to say, I'm so clumsy. It's not necessarily true, but we are constantly creating narratives about ourselves with the words I am. We are solidifying stories and narratives and beliefs about who and what we are every time we use that statement. Likewise, on the other side of the spectrum, you might do something nice for someone and see their gratitude, and you have the story in your head of, wow, I'm so generous. And then the next time, you have an experience of you give money to someone on the street, or, you bake someone a cake and give it to them, just as a happy Sunday. You have the experience of telling yourself, I am so generous. I am so generous. It becomes a narrative. It becomes a story, and it feeds itself. It creates more generosity. Just as the other side can create more feelings of being clumsy, can create more an experience of not having, full domain over your body, or feeling like you're constantly screwing things up. The idea here is that I am creates a world. I am is a narrative. I am is a statement that begins to create beliefs about yourself. And the more that we tell ourselves these different, I am statements, the more we are creating that identity and that reality. So what I'm offering here is to notice where you are saying I am. Notice where you are telling yourself that you are certain things, whether negatively or positively. And begin to become conscious of that and begin to take responsibility for that, because you are truly programming yourself every time you do it. You're programming yourself with who you think you are, how you think you are, what you think is possible for yourself, and what you think your life can be. So, one way to work with this is to notice, in terms of the negative side of things, if there are times when something happens where you might say, I am so lazy, I'm so clumsy, you can say, wow, I was really unconscious there. Wow, I really didn't feel like doing my work in the way I wanted. Wow, I really didn't show up for that. And what you can do is, instead of making it about what you are, I am is a statement of what you are. Make it about the choice you made. Make it about the way you showed up in that moment. I was unconscious in that moment. That is something I can take responsibility for next time. It's not that I'm clumsy. It's not that I'm lazy. It's that in that moment, I chose to not be present. And in that, you actually get your power back. You're not this thing that you don't want to be. You are somebody who chose in that moment to be a certain way, to show up a certain way. And the next time, you can choose differently. With the positive things, notice where you can speak more kindly to yourself. Notice where you can acknowledge yourself for how you are showing up. Notice the ways that you can say, wow, I actually am a generous person. And in acknowledging that about myself and seeing that about myself, it can create and amplify more of your own generosity. Wow, I really did go out of my way to be compassionate there. I'm a compassionate person. I can choose to be compassionate. And again, it can amplify that. You can put your attention on that. It's almost like, when you buy a red car and then all of a sudden you start seeing red cars everywhere. It's like that. When you notice that you are being a certain way and you affirm it to yourself, wow, I am someone who can really be focused. Wow, I am compassionate. Wow, I am generous. Wow, I am creative. You begin to notice it more. You begin to feel it more. You begin to show up that way more and more as you affirm these things that are already true about yourself. You may just not be paying attention to them. You may not be acknowledging them. You're not honoring them because we're so regularly telling ourselves the negative things. Maybe I'm creative once in a while, but what I really am is lazy. Maybe I'm compassionate once in a while, but what I really am is selfish. Okay, actually, no. You're choosing maybe to be to not show up for something in the moment. Maybe you're choosing to focus on yourself in a moment. Doesn't mean that you are a selfish person. It means that you're making a choice, and you can also make this other choice. And you do make other choices all the time. Acknowledge yourself for those things. Use I am statements. Be aware of your I am statements more and more and how they make you feel. Because the idea here is to lift yourself up, bring more positivity, bring more inspiration, bring more of a intention to who you want to be and how you want to be by acknowledging and speaking what you can be and what you are. Amplify the parts of yourself, the qualities, the virtues that you want to see more of by naming them, by speaking them, by affirming them about yourself. I am compassionate. I am creative. And notice the way that it makes you feel when you talk about yourself in the other direction. So even just now, my invitation to you is just in your head, say, I am lazy. I am lazy. Notice how that feels. Notice how that feels in your body. Notice how that feels just throughout your whole system. I am lazy. And then notice on the other end, choose something positive about yourself that you want to say. It could be I am inspired. Just say that in your head a few times. I am inspired. I am inspired. And for me, I notice that when I say I am lazy, I can feel, like a subtle collapsing, a subtle constricting in my body, kind of in my chest. Whereas when I say I am inspired, I feel lighter and I feel more energized. I feel more energy and I feel a little sit up taller almost. And that's happening. We're doing that to ourselves all the time by deflating ourselves or lifting ourselves up with the way we're talking about ourselves, with the way that we are using I am. So really the invitation of this video is to just recognize your power in creating your narrative of life, your narrative and story about who you are and what you are, and that it's a choice. Yes, we all have qualities that we may not enjoy sometimes. We all make choices that we may not enjoy sometimes. And we all have parts of ourselves that are beautiful and intriguing and captivating and inspiring, and we can put more attention on those and affirm those versus bringing ourselves down. Where you put your I am statements, how you end your I am statements makes such a big difference for who you are and how you experience life. So my friend, take the I am, run with it, play with it, become more conscious of it, and let yourself really lift yourself up with the way you speak about yourself externally and internally. If you dug this video, want to see more like it in the future, hit the subscribe button below. And again, if you have any questions, any comments, go ahead and leave them. Want other people to see this video, hit the like button. It'll help them find it. Until next time, I'm Ben Hart. Much love.